Hello.
Hi.
I brought you some presents. T-shirts. There's one white and one black. Which one do you want? Do you want a black or a
Give
white?
him the
I think it's
first
your size.
Okay, thank you.
It's from the project we did in MoMA with Douglas Gordon, with Chicks on Speed. Black is good for you?
Thank you very much.
Great.
Great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Anat and David, and it actually all started with Douglas Gordon. It's funny you mentioned Douglas Gordon, because he had just met you and we was preparing this marathon, and I spoke to Douglas, and Douglas thought it would be really urgent. I would meet you, and then we sort of thought the best would actually be that we meet for the first time by you actually participating in this marathon. So we are somehow wondering if you can tell us a little bit about your collaboration with Douglas Gordon, maybe at the beginning.
I wish I brought a video or something, because usually I perform, you know. And I thought since people are probably quite tired, maybe I should do a spontaneous performance.
Would be
just
great.
For a second. I'll just do a text. Okay, this is one of my texts. Whew. Okay. Journalists, over celebrity scandal. You too much to handle. You too much to handle. Clicking in chat rooms, faking male stars, getting not too much. So get in touch. Why are you holding from saying your piece? It's not insane. It's you or them. Call of the century on your God. The poor are fat, the rich are sad. Hey, rock and roll, your blood is clean. You eat organic and go to the gym. You're suing the kids from snapping your tunes off the internet. They make you yet. They distract you from deciding which car to get for your lawful wife or get a life. Call of the century on your God. The poor are fat, the rich are sad. Hey, what's it about? Trendies filling application forms, posing around in community fairs, searching for action. It's just not there. Hey, greed, you have too much. You can't spend it all, so you want to get more. Hey, hey, knock on the door. The rich are sad, the fat are poor. Call of the century on your God. The poor are fat, the rich are sad. Thank you. Woohoo!
There's probably very few rich people here.
I'm certainly not rich. But I don't think it's so good to be rich, because you get really comfortable, right? And then there's no point in it. So it's quite good to be poor, I guess, sometimes.
So thank you very much for your performance. I actually was curious if you can tell us about your collaboration with Douglas Gordon, what you did.
Oh, Douglas is great. He's really fun. We watch football together. He's really into football. And did France win in the end? No. That thing happened with Zidane, which is a shame, because Douglas did this thing with Zidane, right? The film. And he was really into that. So while we were recording in the hotel room, we are also, we're also watching the football. So we muted the TV, because we couldn't, of course, record with the TV on loud. So it was quite, we're watching the football and recording a song together called Art Rules. And the t-shirts that I gave you says Art Rules, you see. That's a song we wrote together and performed together with Douglas. And it's going to come out on a single, hopefully, somewhere. Yeah, we need a place to kind of launch it, so if anyone has an idea, that would be really fun. And then we did this really great performance in the MoMA around Balzac, you know, the big sculpture. He was standing in the middle of and we were like jumping around, doing our performance around it. And they had this they put like a fence around it. You know, this is a huge sculpture of Balzac made out of bronze or something, and even if there was a bomb coming right down, nothing would have happened to it. But still, they were really afraid that we'd touch it, and we were like, trying to poke it a bit with some fabric we had, and the guards from the MoMA were like just like jumping around, like trying to stop the show because we were like touching the Balzac sculpture. So anyway, that was fun. Yeah. What was your question?
That was it, yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I would like to know more about your contribution to Wonder Years.
Oh, Wonder Years, yeah.
Because Wonder Years, the way it is described, is a kind of a new Israeli generation that is taking liberties with the Holocaust and introducing humor and frivolity about that issue.
Okay.
And I would like to know more about it and
Okay.
whether you think that is a kind of promising direction, for instance, to address the current moment.
Ooh, Holocaust. Yeah, I mean, we grew up in Israel with the notion of the Holocaust, like everyday life is all about, the Holocaust and the whole notion of what happened to the Jews before the Second World War and blah blah, and we kind of in school we always had to kind of every Holocaust day we had to kind of stand, and like when the sirens were up, we're just like standing trying not to laugh because everyone would do like funny faces and stuff like that. So I mean, you have to kind of find a way to kind of deal with it in a more, I don't know, to exercise your humor about it in a way. I mean, there's no point in saying, oh, we know what happened and it's terrible and of course, all those things, but these are all historical facts. When you go into the human kind of side of it, then you kind of deal with it in a very personal way, and the personal way that we as contemporary people deal with it, our generation or this specific group of artists, was kind of with humor and with a more kind of popular kind of approach, because these are our tools. And some people thought it was quite provocative, but it actually not. I mean, the stuff that I did, or Tami Bento, my best friend.
What did you do?
I did. I translated songs from that period into pop songs, and I made videos of myself performing it. Which songs which I really love by Marlene Dietrich, and kind of executed them as video clips and projected them in that way. And I didn't think thought it was like not non-respective or anything. I thought it was very, it was very personal and emotional for me. But it was not like the usual way that people kind of like to perceive, those kind of things. So I thought a lot of people, artists did the same kind of thing, very personal thing, and it doesn't really fit always to what it's supposed to be like, very heavy and depressing. Yeah.
And that was in Berlin, or
Sorry?
that was only in Berlin, or did it travel?
No, it was only in Berlin. It didn't really succeed. I mean, I don't think it went anywhere else, but it was a good experience. And then I asked Hugo Boss, because I knew that they were involved in the art, and I thought because Hugo Boss actually was a Nazi, I thought maybe I should ask them to be my sponsors. I just wanted some suits to present in my artwork, and they freaked out and they didn't want to give me anything. And then after a month, I was performing in one of their parties, and I, in the middle of the show, I said, "Oh, that's so great! Look at it! I love Hugo Boss. They're giving us all these things and suits and shoes and stuff. And you know what? But the thing is, where they started." And I started talking about the Second World War and stuff, and people didn't really appreciate it. But it was, I didn't hear. I mean, later on, I heard that that they were really freaked out by it, But I thought it was very appropriate.
So I'm wondering if you can tell us a bit about, on the one hand, your performance activity, and on the other hand, your band, because you say in a text here that in your performance you want to create and generate a kind of a total vision using your body and appearance, and at the same time you kind of write songs and text and perform as a band. So I was wondering that sort of role of a performance artist at the same time the band.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a musician originally. I'm an artist and studied art, did paintings, all that stuff. And when I did my MA in Goldsmith, I did a project. My dissertation was about the relationship between the fascist leader and the pop star, and all the things that kind of. And since I couldn't become a fascist leader, unfortunately, I decided to become a pop star. And so I wrote some songs and recorded them really, really fast. And then I toured with a band, with Chicks on Speed and with Peaches, and exercised my experience. And then I got more and more into it. And I think everything that I do generates from performance, because I think that the live interaction or whatever happens in my performance is the most important and relevant thing, and all the rest of the stuff, installation, video, whatever, generates from that experience. And but this is the root and the most essential thing for me as an artist.
Do you have unrealized projects which have been too big to
so many.
Can you tell us about some of them?
Woo! I want to. Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, at the moment, I don't know. I have a lot of stuff. I want to do a solo show. I haven't done a solo show yet. And I think everything, I mean, I'm very realistic, If there is something that I know the limitation of, I would just take the limitation and work with them as something that I can build on. But I work all the time. I don't have time to think about projects that I want to make happen. I just work and collaborate and do stuff. And if I have an objective, then I address it. I can't dream all the time. I have to work and do stuff all the time.
I have a question. You talked about your show in Berlin. You talked about MoMA in New York and kind of playing with their values. You talk about your life in Israel. London is a kind of highly uncharged place compared to all these examples that you mentioned. So how is it why are you here in a city where it is so hard to locate a place that you could insult, or an issue that could be provocative, or a value that could be compromised?
Actually, I think London is a really great place. At the moment, I think it's a center for a lot of things that happen. And I mean, just living where I live in Shoreditch, and it's like close to the White Cube, but then you go up and you have all the Vietnamese restaurants, and then you have West Caribbean and Hasidic Jews and what have you, and Turkish places, and then you also have the suits that work in the city and stuff. So the big capital is right there, and simple people, and everything is just there as a palette. You can see the whole reflection of humanity, if you want. In that instant, at this point of my life, I think I need to be right in the middle of things, and I think London is a great place to be in that thing, because I walk out of my house and I just see the truth in front of me. So it's very inspiring.
Many thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.